Mr. Onorato, thank you out of your busy schedule for taking time to visit us at ECA and get a preview of the type of work that we are doing here. Therefore, without further ado, Mr. Dan Onorato, Democratic candidate for governor.
Thank you, Walt, and thanks to everyone else who was here today and showed me around. To the trainees, thanks too for giving me a chance to come through here and to disrupt your day a little bit. And to the students that are here, good luck. I know you're starting today in your 6-week training session, and hopefully this leads to skills for the future. As I run for governor, I get the opportunity to travel to the Commonwealth, campaign throughout the Commonwealth, and I'm spending a lot of time in southeastern Pennsylvania, since I'm from the West, and for the last year and a half I've been in the Philly region a lot of times every week, getting to see this area, what works, where it needs to be helped. But I also have had the experience of running the second largest region, the Pittsburgh region, as county executive, and I've discovered as an elected official how important the green job movement is for the future of this Commonwealth of the country. And we have a lot of training programs where we're also in the process of educating and retraining and training people to be able to convert residential, commercial, individual homes and make them more energy efficient for two reasons. One, we lower our consumption. We don't need as many power plants because capacity expands, because our consumption goes down. And we have more capacity with our existing plants. But also, recognizing to do that, you need a trained workforce to convert these buildings. I don't care if it's the green roofs, if it's insulation, putting the windows, solar, geothermal, all the different new technologies to make buildings more efficient, to make this country more efficient, that it really means jobs. I know a lot of these programs are funded right now by federal, state, and even local grants. And the importance of keeping these going because these are the jobs of the future. And I wanted to come here today just to see how it's working. And Walt was telling me last year, over 600 people came through this facility. That's a big number. And if we're doing this all around the Commonwealth, it's an opportunity to retrain the entire workforce for the jobs that are going to be coming. Because energy efficiency and lowering consumption, that's not going away. The green movement, LEED certification on buildings, all of that is starting to really take off. Because people realize it makes sense, good business sense, good economic sense. And as I campaigned for governor, and I started looking at ways to make Pennsylvania more competitive, we're talking about a lot of different issues right now. Trying to get an environment for the private sector to bring jobs in. And that means taking our corporate tax structure, which is the second highest, and lowering it to be competitive. Making sure that our regulatory agencies, PennDOT, DEP, they get permits out the door on time, and they recognize companies when they ask for a permit aren't the enemy. They deserve an answer in 4 months, not 2 years. But there's a third component, and that is making sure we have the best trained workforce for the jobs of the future. So everything from our trade schools, to our both tech schools, to our high schools, to our community colleges, our 4-year degrees, those curriculums have to match the needs of the job and the employers today. And that's what this is an example of. Matching the training for the jobs that are ready today. So that when you leave here, you got marketable skills. As governor, it's important that even in these tough economic times, and we evaluate programs that are going to be cut, programs that are going to be funded, that we're very careful making sure that we don't just cut across the board, but we reward and we fund the programs that actually work. And the ones that don't work, well, they're probably not going to survive long term. But there's a lot of good programs as it relates to retraining, but also education in general, from early childhood to funding basic education to making sure that our community colleges, our both tech schools, and our technical training facilities are properly funded. Because these are the jobs that we're going to need. Because when you convert buildings, these are jobs you don't outsource. These are jobs that are going to be right here in America, and these are jobs that we need our people to be able to do. And that means we got to make sure we're training for those jobs, and not be afraid to think outside the box on how we spend our money and how we prepare curriculums going forward. I've had the opportunity as county executive now for 6.5 years to implement this in the second largest county. And today, our unemployment in Allegheny County is well below the national average and well below the state average. We have a well-balanced economy. We have a very aggressive workforce investment board, workforce retraining programs, and I want to be able to take that to the entire Commonwealth. And as the governor, we're going to make sure we do that. I stand here today in Philadelphia in a facility that could be an example of how we expand this type of retraining. We need to be able to do this in all of the neighborhoods, in all of our cities, in all of our regions in the Commonwealth, and to be able to make it commonplace, not just having a few examples, because as we retrain the entire workforce, we're going to be able to put people back to work. And to the people over here being trained on the technical skills, to the students that are a few years away from being in the workforce, now is the time. We don't have any time to waste. We got to make sure that we're spending these limited dollars wisely with the retraining, and making sure that the public understands that what we're doing is actually good as it relates to their tax dollars. Because if we can ultimately convert these buildings and lower utility costs on public buildings, which the taxpayers pay for, they're going to have a more efficient building. We're going to be spending less tax dollars on utilities, and at the same time, providing good paying jobs to people that will be paying taxes again and working and being able to raise a family. So it's all tied together. And I want to thank you for sharing what you do here. I'm going to use what I've seen here in the campaign, talking about retraining, talking about the jobs of the future, and what we need to fund, what we need to keep going, and doing public-private partnerships, because government can't do it all, and making sure that the public sector and the private sector are working together, like that sign says over there, and continue to do that. So it was a pleasure to be here today. As I said, I'm in Philly probably 3-4 days a week sometimes, count the weekends. I look forward to getting around to many of the other sites. So I'm going to continue my tour of the schools. Hopefully I'll hit your school real soon as we go through here, and making sure as governor, I understand what the needs of the Commonwealth are, what the needs of Philadelphia are in the Southeast, so that I can put together programs with the legislature that benefit all of us. So again, thank you all. I appreciate the tour today. I look forward to working with you as governor. Thank you, everyone.